Hello and welcome. In Series 6 of this training, we will review how to properly set up your vaccine storage units. Setup and preparation of your vaccine storage unit is extremely important. A properly organized vaccine storage unit helps to ensure correct vaccine storage and facilitates proper vaccine inventory management. This training provides step-by-step instructions on how to set up vaccine storage equipment. Refer to this training for setting up your storage unit when you move locations, purchase a new storage unit, or remove vaccine from a storage unit for maintenance. You must notify the VFC program anytime you are setting up a new unit or you move locations. Notify the VFC program anytime you intend to set up a new storage unit and/or before a physical office move. The fifth training in this series, Selecting a Vaccine Storage Unit, gives specific requirements for vaccine storage units. The VFC program requires that you demonstrate proper protection of your vaccine storage unit's power supply. This can be done by posting warning labels such as "Do Not Disconnect" near the unit's electrical outlets, near related circuit breakers, and near any backup generators if applicable. If this cannot be demonstrated, the New York State VFC program may reject or hold your vaccine order. You must have 5 business days of in-range temperatures recorded for each VFC storage unit before it can be used for vaccine storage. Otherwise, your vaccine orders may be denied. Private vaccine stock must be physically separate from public or VFC stock. The location of your vaccine storage units within your practice is important to maintaining the vaccine cold chain. If possible, place your vaccine storage units in an area that is on a single dedicated circuit breaker. This helps to reduce the possibility that the power will be accidentally interrupted. If you are unsure of your facility's power structure, consult with maintenance staff. The units should be placed in a well-ventilated room, away from direct sunlight and heat sources. Allow space around the top and sides of the storage unit. It is recommended to allow at least 4 inches of space between the unit and the wall if possible, while also ensuring that the motor compartment is not blocked. Keep the unit level, at least 1 to 2 inches above the floor. Always refer to the owner's manual for additional guidance on placement and any space requirements that may be specific to your vaccine storage unit. The use of a safety lock or outlet cover is strongly recommended to prevent staff from accidentally unplugging the storage unit. Plug the vaccine storage unit directly into a wall or floor outlet. Do not use an extension cord. Avoid using power outlets with built-in circuit switches or ground flow circuit interrupters or GCFIs. GCFIs have reset buttons. Do not use power outlets that can be activated or inactivated by a wall switch. Don't use multi-outlet power strips or surge protectors. Place warning signs near the unit's main outlet and any associated circuit breakers informing staff and others not to unplug the storage unit or disconnect power. The warning sign should also indicate a contact person in the event of an electrical problem or any scheduled maintenance that needs to occur. Maintenance and custodial staff should be instructed to never unplug the vaccine storage units or to notify the appropriate person if power does need to be shut off. Also, place a warning sign on the front of the unit informing staff not to adjust the thermostat. Only the vaccine coordinator or backup should adjust the temperature. Examples of warning signs are on the right side of this slide. Place the paper temperature log on the front of the unit to help facilitate the recording of daily temperature readings. Please refer to the resources document included with these trainings for a link to temperature logs. Also, consider placing a tally sheet on the front of the unit to help account for wasted doses of vaccine. For example, doses that were discarded after being dropped or broken, drawn up but not used, etc. Water bottles in the refrigerator and frozen water bottles in the freezer help to stabilize storage unit temperatures in the event of power failure. Additionally, the frozen water bottles can be used to transport vaccine during an emergency. For the refrigerator, place water bottles on shelves on doors, top shelf and floor of the storage unit and label "Do Not Drink." If you're using a standard upright freezer, place frozen water bottles in the door and along the top shelf and floor. If you are using a chest freezer, place the water bottles in the basket. If there is no basket, place the frozen water bottles along the bottom of the storage unit. Water bottles are not recommended for use with certain pharmaceutical-grade and purpose-built storage units. For such units, follow the manufacturer's guidance. Do not block cold air vents when placing water bottles inside your vaccine storage units. Locations of cold air vents can vary according to the model. Always refer to the product user manual for more information. Thermostat labels can vary depending on the type of storage unit being used. Markings on control knobs can range from sequential numbers to letters to cold, colder, and coldest type of settings. Some thermostats do not show temperatures, but rather levels of coldness. It's preferable to have a digital thermostat with an actual numeric temperature value. The acceptable temperature range for refrigerated vaccine is between 36 and 46 degrees Fahrenheit, or 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. The ideal set temperature for the refrigerator is 41 degrees Fahrenheit, or 5 degrees Celsius. The acceptable temperature range for frozen vaccine is between negative 58 degrees and positive 5 degrees Fahrenheit, or between negative 50 and negative 15 degrees Celsius, with some exceptions. Always refer to the vaccine product insert for specific storage temperature guidance. Consult your owner's manual for complete instructions on how to operate your thermostat. Several temperature adjustments may need to be made before the desired temperature is reached. Set up a continuous temperature monitoring device called the Digital Data Logger, or DDL, along with its buffered probe. Place the DDL probe in the center of the storage unit. Ideally, this should be hung and not resting on any shelves. Follow the DDL instructions for installation. Many products will come standard with zip ties to secure the probe cable along the bottom of the shelves so that it's kept out of the way when accessing vaccine. Attach the digital display for the DDL on the outside of the storage unit. The display can be placed on the door or the side of the unit. Make sure that the display will not be disrupted by the opening and closing of the door and/or regular foot traffic. The New York State VFC program requires that you monitor the temperatures in new or repaired storage units for at least 5 business days before moving vaccine into it. It may take 2 to 7 days to stabilize the temperature in a newly installed or repaired unit. This slide lists which vaccines can be stored in the refrigerator. Improperly stored or outdated vaccines won't protect your patients and is not consistent with VFC requirements. Always refer to the package insert for specific instructions on the storage of each vaccine. Also note the following. All Moderna COVID-19 vaccine formulations can be stored in the refrigerator for up to 30 days after standard freezer storage. MMR2 can be stored in the refrigerator or the freezer. And while this guide is current as of the time of this recording, not all of the flu vaccines listed here may be available for ordering this coming flu season. This slide lists which vaccines can be stored in the freezer and ultra-cold freezer. Please note that Comirnaty and Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccines in single-dose vials, multi-dose vials, and plastic manufacturer-filled syringes can be stored between 2 degrees and 8 degrees Celsius, or 36 and 46 degrees Fahrenheit, for up to 10 weeks. Glass manufacturer-filled syringes for persons 12 years of age and older may be stored at refrigerated temperatures until the printed expiration date. Spikevax and Moderna COVID-19 vaccines may be stored between 2 and 8 degrees Celsius, or 36 degrees and 46 degrees Fahrenheit, for up to 30 days. Comirnaty glass manufacturer-filled syringes for persons 12 years and older cannot be stored at ultra-cold temperatures. Do not freeze diluent. Store at room temperature or refrigerated temperatures. Lastly, Jynneos can be stored for 8 weeks at refrigerator temperatures. Ultra-cold storage units are specialty freezer units specifically designed to maintain sub-zero temperatures. The 6-month to 4-year and 5 to 11-year Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine formulations can be stored in ultra-cold storage units between negative 90 degrees Celsius and negative 60 degrees Celsius, or negative 130 degrees Fahrenheit to negative 76 degrees Fahrenheit until the manufacturer's printed expiration date. Please note that standard and pharmaceutical-grade freezer units are not capable of maintaining these ultra-cold temperatures and therefore should never be used to store any Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines. It is also important to note that ultra-cold storage units require the use of a special digital data logger designed to record these sub-zero temperatures. These ultra-cold data loggers do not have probes in the glycol vial, as the glycol would freeze at these sub-zero temperatures. Some diluents need to be stored in a refrigerator, while others have an option of being stored in either the refrigerator or room temperature. If storing diluents at room temperature, the room should be no warmer than 77 degrees Fahrenheit or 25 degrees Celsius. Always refer to the manufacturer's product information to find the appropriate storage temperatures for the diluent in question. As a reminder, diluents should never be stored in the freezer. Store diluents with their corresponding vaccine to avoid errors and use of incorrect diluent. Diluents are not interchangeable and can only be used with the product for which they are provided. For example, the diluent for Pentacell and the diluent for Menveo contain a vaccine antigen and will usually come packaged with their corresponding lyophilized or freeze-dried vaccine. These diluents must be stored along with their corresponding vaccine. Transferring vaccines and diluents into a storage unit requires some forethought and planning on how to best organize the unit. A carefully organized vaccine storage unit helps protect vaccine and facilitates vaccine inventory management. It should go without saying, but never store food or beverages in the units where you store vaccine. Storage of other medications and biologics in the same unit as vaccine is not recommended. However, if absolutely necessary, store below the vaccines and label appropriately. Prevent overcrowding vaccines for adequate airflow. If you find that your storage unit is not large enough to accommodate your inventory, you may be required to purchase a secondary storage unit. For better organization, use trays or uncovered containers or baskets. Breathable plastic mesh baskets are best. Each basket should only contain one type of vaccine or diluent. Clearly label the baskets and shelves with the name of vaccine and the funding type, public or private. Attach labels to shelves, trays, and/or baskets where each type of vaccine is stored. Separate private and public vaccine. Consider dedicating one shelf to each. Store pediatric and adult versions of the same vaccine on separate shelves to avoid confusion. Also, keep vaccines with similar packaging and names on different shelves. For example, DTaP and Tdap, or Hib and Hep B. Always place vaccine with the earliest vaccine expiration date towards the front of each basket. Vaccines and diluents should be placed in the central area of the vaccine storage unit, 2 to 3 inches away from the storage unit walls. Never store vaccine in the door of the unit or in any drawers of the storage unit. The door is subject to temperature variations, and drawers in the storage units limit circulating airflow and often maintain different temperatures from the rest of the storage unit. Avoid placing vaccine near cold air vents, which are typically located near the top shelf in commercial storage units. If you must use the top shelf, place water bottles in the back, close to the vents, and store vaccine not sensitive to coldest temps, such as MMR2, for example. Keep vaccines and diluents in their original packaging with lids closed until ready for administration. This will protect the vaccines from damage due to light. Removing vaccines from their packaging also increases risk for storage and handling or administration errors. Place water bottles anywhere in the unit where you would not place vaccine, such as in the doors, in the top shelves, and in any vegetable bins or drawers. Again, if you have a pharmaceutical-grade unit, please refer to the unit's manual regarding the use of water bottles, as they are not recommended for some models. After reviewing the storage and handling protocols of all the vaccines and their diluents, begin transferring the vaccines and diluents into the storage units. Thank you for your participation in this training on setting up vaccine storage units. As always, any questions can be sent to nyvfc@health.ny.gov.